Hello and welcome to week 2 of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I'm doing this a bit different. Instead of recording videos and putting them up, I'm doing live streams, and eventually they'll be turning into productivity sprints. So whether you're reading, doing crafts, that's kind of what this time's going to be. But for the next 12 weeks, we're working through Julia Cameron's Artist Way. You can let me know either in the chat if you join in, excuse me, or the comments down below. Allergies, so my voice will come and go. But let me know if you've ever done the Artist Way. This is my third time through it. And at the back, it also mentions 2 of her other programs, Finding Water and Walking in This World. Last week I mentioned that I had a different version of The Artist's Way. There are several anniversary editions. This one that I'm using for these streams is the 10th anniversary edition. There's others as well. I'll have to check my big book with the collection of all 3 books in it together, all 3 programs. So first off, I should say thank you for joining in if you're able to while this is up and live. As always, a big thank you to Team Rewatch, because I know between work schedules, time zones, life, and so many other things, it's not always possible to get in on a live at the time it's going live. And I also need to look back on the listening path. I did that as a 6-week series of videos, also by Julia Cameron, a newer work. That one was a bit easier to do as videos, and each week, of course, builds on something different. But the layout on that was entirely different, with a bit of text and the exercises put in, and not quite as many exercises as The Artist's Way. For The Artist's Way, again, she has quite a bit of information. I'll highlight some of it at the beginning of these streams. Then each week ends with, last week I see there were 10 exercises. Just going to flip here. And again, 10 exercises for this week. Now, I did mention before that, and something just popped up there, so I can shut that off. I did mention before that Julia said the idea is not to do all 10 exercises in that week. Some take a bit longer than others. So read through the material, read through the exercises, and decide which ones you want to work through that following week. You can always go back and do the others at another point. And each week, of course, ends with a check-in. So did you do the exercises? Did you do the different tools, morning pages, artist date? And what kinds of things came up for you? So you may want to have a separate journal or way of recording this, whether that's old school by hand or setting up a file in either Pages or Word, something like that. Again, make this work for you. Set it up in a way that is comfortable and manageable for you. So in week 2, we're on recovering a sense of identity. Last week, our focus was recovering a sense of self. Of course, I have my sticky notes in the wrong place. Recovering a sense of safety. So before we can move forward and unblock ourselves, we need to have a solid foundation. That's what week 1 was about. This week is getting in touch with who we are and figuring out maybe what some of the holdups are for us moving forward. I also realized after the stream last week, when I was mentioning about artists, I was saying painters and writers, etc. And for some reason, it didn't twig in that, hello, YouTube content creators are also artists. We're creating a form of art, something to share with other people, whether that's information, knowledge, that type of thing. So this very much applies. And I'm thinking quite timely right now, as I've noticed a number of content creators from a variety of different types of genres around YouTube, not just BookTube, but with so many different things happening right now between views going down. There are a number of channels that have been demonetized for different reasons. A number of channels have been deleted, mostly AI from what I know. But there's a lot going on, including just the world at large. And people are really feeling worn out. I know myself, it's been getting challenging to sit and try and record something. And a lot of other people are feeling that right now as well for a variety of different reasons. So doing this program right now is very timely because it specifically addresses what's getting in our way, what's holding us up from tapping into that. Let's have some fun, play, and get creative. However, that creativity works for you, writing, creating music, doing art, generating videos. So, week 2, sense of identity. The essays and tools are aimed at moving you into your personal identity, a self defined you. And she begins on page 41. The title is Going Sane. Trusting our creativity is new behavior for many of us. As we gain strength, so will some of the attacks of self-doubt. This is normal, and we can deal with these stronger attacks when we see them as symptoms of recovery. I've also mentioned before, Julia Cameron is very much about AA. She's a recovering alcoholic. We have the 12 weeks for the program, and she refers back quite a bit to different parts of the AA program. And AA also has sponsors, if you're not familiar with that. So on those challenging, difficult days, you have someone to call and connect with to keep encouraging and supporting you. Now, she goes on to say, these attacks are groundless, but very convincing to ourselves. So we have to be mindful about giving ourselves positive messages, making sure that we're around people who are encouraging and supporting us, not the naysayers, or as Julia calls them in the next section, poisonous playmates. Now, before we get there, I want to continue on with the going sane part. On page 42, these attacks can come from either internal or external sources. We can neutralize them once we recognize them as a sort of creative virus. Affirmations are a powerful antidote for self-hate, which commonly appears under the mask of self-doubt. And we've talked about affirmations as well, making sure that you put them positive and already happening and be realistic in them. I mean, when I do my Life is Great Because list, something that I began doing when I worked through the Artist Way and Steering by Starlight in the past during my back injury, you need to be realistic of what you can do. And when I started that list, it was as simple as I got out of bed, I got dressed. And those were huge things at that time. And as I continued to do it, the list continued to grow as I noticed more things that were going well and fine-tuned my focus and my perspective. Now, I still do it occasionally, not every day like I used to. I probably need to get back into that habit as it's helpful and works for me. But for giggles, I also put there won the lottery because, hey, somebody has to win. And if you don't put it out to the universe, it's the same as if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win. Excuse me. Now, Julia goes on to talk about what she calls poisonous playmates. And these are the people who are not encouraging and not supporting you because they have issues of their own. So, as she says, not surprisingly, the most poisonous playmates for us as recovering creatives are people whose creativity is still blocked. Our recovery threatens them. Now, the wording of that is very much AA as well, or NA. And again, it's being careful about who you're around. Are they going to support and encourage you, or is your movement forward and your change a bit of an uncomfortable thing for them? Because if you're moving forward and doing well and trying new things, it means for some people that they need to look at themselves, and not everybody is wanting to move forward and make those positive changes in life. So, as she goes on to say, do not expect your blocked friends to applaud your recovery. That's like expecting your best friends from the bar to celebrate your sobriety. Because again, not everyone wants to make changes, and that can be upsetting for some people. So you really need to be mindful of who are you spending your time with, who are you connecting with, and who is going to support you in the goals that you have for yourself. Blocked friends may find your recovery disturbing, so be alert to subtle sabotage. In other words, it's the way they may say things, they may try and discourage you, and you just have to weigh out and decide what's the best path forward for you. Be particularly alert to any suggestion that you've become selfish or different. And those are definitely red flags. Again, people want you to stay the way you are sometimes. I mean, you're going to have people in your life who will be very encouraging, very supportive, cheering you on, giving you a pat on the back when things go well. Those are the people you want to invest your time and energy into. The people who are trying to pull you away from what you want to do, you need to be very careful how you manage that, whether that's family or friends. You need to be clear on your goal. You need to be clear on what is best for you in terms of self-care and how you're spending your time. She goes on to say that it's very important to understand that the time given to morning pages is time between you and the creative source. You'll be led to new sources of support as you begin to support yourself. Now, I've said I don't do the morning pages this time. I did when I first did the program, and the second time, I just find journaling is a different experience for me. I may do it in the morning, I may do it at the end of the day. And for me, it's similar to her morning pages, but I don't have it set that it has to be 3 pages. And it's not necessarily stream of consciousness what I do. It's going through the day. What am I focused on? What happened? Where did I do well? Where do I need to tweak things? And like the morning pages, which by the way, you don't share with anyone ever, it is simply for you, and you don't go back and read them every other day. You get it out and get it down. You may, after a few weeks, want to go back and browse through, see and notice if there are any patterns or phrases and things coming up, because those are the areas that you need to focus and work on and fine tune. I notice the same with my journal. If there are certain things and I find that I'm repeating it over and over and over again, it's time to finally come up with solutions. Instead of just going on about the same thing, it's time to find some changes and solutions and ways to tweak and refine things. And she finishes that section with, your own healing is the greatest message of hope for others. So, although there are people who may not necessarily be cheering you on, whether that's with sobriety, being clean, or being creative, as you stick with your plan and move forward and continue to make progress, people are going to notice that. And even the naysayers may start to think perhaps it's time for them to make a change, or maybe they're willing to finally take that risk and move forward. So, again, be clear about your goal and your reasons for moving forward and making the changes that you're making. Now, the next group of people she talks about are what she calls crazy makers. These are the people who thrive on dramarama, and they are all over social media. It doesn't matter what the platform is, you're going to find crazy makers all over the place. They hang out in the comment sections, and sometimes, yes, they're content creators, and you'll notice a lot of their content is, trying to get under people's skin, or what's the new thing now? Gaslighting is the term. They're always generating some kind of noise, distraction, and nonsense. And, again, you have to pick and choose carefully. Who are you going to spend your time with? How do you want to invest your time? And are they the best people to have around you? Now, I just want to check, because I do have my notes as well. The other point that Julia makes about them, these people tend to have lots of issues all the time, all the time. And it isn't that they have bad luck. It's they just seem to go from one thing to another, and it just never seems to end with them. Now, sometimes it's things come up. Other times it's stuff they've created, but they don't stop to think about or assess how responsible they are for creating some of that stuff. But the other thing with them is they rarely present solutions. They want to live in that chaos and that drama. And looking in from the outside, it may not make a lot of sense, but somewhere there is a payoff for them, because if there wasn't, they wouldn't keep doing it. So again, you have to be really careful about who do you want to spend your time with, and who is going to be the most supportive in helping you move forward. Obviously, if it's drama-rama, those aren't the people that you want to be staying connected with on a regular basis, because it's just a lot of distraction. And that distraction pulls you away from what you need to be focused on and paying attention to. Now, here I've got noted as well, this is page 46. The crazy, English would be good. The crazy making dynamic is grounded in power. And so any group of people can function as an energy system to be exploited and drained. Crazy makers can be found in almost any setting, in almost any art form. Fame may help to create them, but since they feed on power, any power source will do. Although quite frequently crazy makers are found among the rich and famous, they're common even among commoners. Right in the nuclear family, A resident crazy maker may often be found pitting family member against family member, undercutting anyone's agenda but their own. So, again, this is why it's important to take a careful look at who is your social support: family, friends, coworkers. And again, are they supporting you? Are they encouraging? And that doesn't mean that they're telling you what you want to hear. In fact, the best people to be around are those who will tell you what you need to hear in a kind and caring way. I mean, we've got the term constructive criticism, and that's helpful because there are things all of us need to fine tune, tweak, and it's important to have those people in our lives who can tell us, hey, you're just being a little too snippy at the moment, or, you need to give this a try or fine tune this. Those are the people that you want in your life, the people who can, in a loving and caring way, tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. There's a huge difference. Now she goes on and she has a number of points about crazy makers. Crazy makers break deals and destroy schedules. So, for example, if you talk to them about your artist date, they will likely try to either come along with you, which no, they cannot. The artist date is for you to have some private time and do something for the sheer pleasure and enjoyment of doing it. They may, oh, well, you promised to do this, or you need to spend time with me. So again, be mindful of if people are supporting you or trying to pull you away from your goals. She goes on to say they expect special treatment. They discount your reality. So, they're going to be naysayers and poo-poo whatever you're talking about. They like to spend your time and money. If they borrow your car, they return it late with an empty tank. You know those kinds of people. Or they borrow your books and don't return them. So, things to be aware of. Expert blamers. So, again, they don't take responsibility for their own actions. They certainly don't want you pointing out things to them. She goes on to say about the dramas that they create, and crazy makers are often blocked creatives themselves. So, in terms of, let's continue on with the YouTube concept. So, you may be working away on your videos and you're fine tuning them and you're, doing your best, and your channel is doing however it's doing. They don't necessarily create, and they'll go, why are you doing this? It's not going to work. It blah, 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 blah. So again, be mindful. Are you surrounded by people who are supporting and encouraging you? Or do you have some crazy makers who aren't exactly helping you, and they end up taking your time and knocking you off your personal center and away from your goals? She also goes on to say about the world revolves around them and their schedules. And excuse me, I've had a few of these people in my life, not anymore, but they used to be. And it was always about whenever they were free, whenever they had time. But if things were reversed and I needed some help or some support, nope, that was just never convenient for them. And no, I don't have those people in my life anymore because, again, you have to live your own life and you have to take care of yourself. And again, be mindful. Who are you surrounded by? Who's encouraging you? Who's supporting you? All of that's very important. Whether you're working towards tapping into your own creativity and moving forward with those goals, whether it's looking for a new job or, a new home, whatever. You want to have people who are there to support. Oh no, she's got two more. So another point she has is they enjoy chaos. That's why they love the drama, keeps people, off balance, always giving to them, whether it's time, money, your energy. So they'll keep generating drama to keep sucking you in. So be mindful of that. And of course, there's sometimes no point. It depends on the individual, and you have to assess that carefully for yourself. They're not going to, hey, Tiki, admit that they're generating problems or, generating drama. It's what are you talking about? And they'll do everything to deny the different things that they create, generate to make their lives more challenging, and in turn your life, because they want you to keep being there and support them when things go wonky. So be mindful of that. She goes on to talk about skepticism, and the introduction is perfect. Now that we've talked about the barrier to recovery others can present, so we have the poisonous playmates and the crazy makers, let's take a look at the inner enemy we harbor ourselves. And again, this is where we need to focus on what messages are we giving ourselves? Are we being encouraging? Are we taking care of ourselves? Making sure that we're getting enough sleep, eating properly, getting exercise, getting out and about, whether that's just time privately in nature or whether that's out socializing with other people, depending on your circumstance and your situation. So all of this is about taking a look at where you're at and making sure you're taking care of you. She goes on to talk about attention. So very often a creative block manifests itself as an addiction to fantasy. Rather than working or living the now, we spin our wheels and indulge in daydreams. Would have, could have, should have. One of the great misconceptions about the artistic life is that it entails great swaths of aimlessness. The truth is that a creative life involves great swaths of attention. Attention is a way to connect and survive. So it's great to have that daydreaming time of what do I want to do? What do I want to focus on? What do I want to work towards? But then you actually have to do the planning, figure out those baby steps, and start doing them and moving forward. Now, on page 55, she shares what she calls rules of the road. So, what does it take to be an artist? And her list says, in order to be an artist, I must. Number 1, show up at the page, use the page to rest, to dream, to try. Now, again, and thinking this is, I believe, 2002, people weren't using technology as much then. So she would mean the literal page or a notebook. Other people may dictate or type their answers. So there's different ways of doing that. And that could also be your morning pages where you just let yourself dream and come up with different ideas and work out different strategies. Number 2, fill the well by caring for my artist. Now, filling the well means taking care of ourselves. For myself, that means going outside and just enjoying time in my backyard watching the birds, the squirrels, all the different visitors, spending time with Lily is how I fill my well. For other people, it may be going out for dinner with friends. It might be connecting with someone for a coffee. So, identifying and knowing what it is that re energizes you and makes you feel better and keeps you feeling good. Number 3, set small and gentle goals and meet them. So when you're planning things out, whether it's a weekly planner or a day planner, make sure that it's manageable, realistic, and things that you can do and accomplish. Because if you're going to have a list, then you don't want to have it mostly undone. That isn't building confidence and getting you feeling better. So make sure that you have set those goals and tips and strategies in a manageable way that you can accomplish. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. Number 4, pray for guidance, courage, and humility. Now, the word prayer may get some people, it could be changed to ask for guidance, whether you believe in a higher power, a creative source. If you have other names for it, then that's the process you follow. Number 5, remember that it's far harder and more painful to be a blocked artist than it is to do the work. That one's very important because if you have ideas and there's things you want to do, then it's important to move forward with that. So instead of just constantly thinking, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, but you never actually try. And we talked about that last week as well. Whether it's creating a video for YouTube, doing your first picture or playing something on a guitar or a piano, etc., the first time isn't going to be great. And you have to practice and keep trying and keep sticking with it. And you need to keep encouraging yourself as well. You can't expect all that encouragement to come from outside you. But if you're really feeling that you want to do it, maybe there's a short story or a novel you've been wanting to try. Start that outline, get moving forward with it, and see where it goes. You don't know until you try. Number 6, be alert always for the presence of the great creator leading and helping my artist. So pay attention to things that are going on around you. It could be people you meet, could be something you come across with reading, might be something that shows up on the internet. Be aware of the different things coming your way that will help, support, and encourage you. Number 7, choose companions who encourage me to do the work, not just talk about doing the work or why I'm not doing the work. So again, that support system, very important. Make sure that you have people who are telling you what you need to hear, who can make positive suggestions, give you creative criticism, and solutions for various things as well. So being mindful of the people around you. Number 8, remember that the great creator loves creativity. So again, tapping into that higher source, whatever name you call it, be aware that being creative, whether it's making videos, creating something visually, coloring things in is part of being creative, but it's a great experience. So, give it a whirl whenever you can. Number 9, remember that it's my job to do the work, not judge the work. So have fun, have a good time. Make sure you set time aside for yourself and give it your best shot. It's not going to be perfect the first time, but you keep practicing, you keep trying, you don't give up after the first attempt. And number 10, place the sign in my workplace. Great creator, I'll take care of the quantity. You take care of the quality. So she's saying, make this sign, and as an artist, you'll produce things and keep trying and keep practicing and leave the rest up to the universe, leave the rest up to the higher source. So you may want to create that sign for yourself, whether you work in an office or you have a little corner where you do your various creative tasks. Then the next part is, of course, the 10 different activities. She calls them tasks. And I did mention that with the listening path, you could kind of do that through the videos that I shared, but it is, of course, best to have your own copy because I didn't read the entire sections. Same now with the Artist Way, it definitely is important to have your own copy because I don't read the 10 activities. There's quite a bit of work to do on each of them. And so I do recommend getting your own copy if you're interested in doing it. Now, I also suggest check your public library, check your local thrift store. I picked up my copy for $4.50. I did look on Amazon, and there's a variety of different prices, so be careful for things that are overpriced. And yeah, for the Artist Way, I definitely recommend getting your own copy. The suggestion that Julia has, and I agree, is that before starting the Artist's Way, read through the entire thing once. So you may want to skim, go through it quick, see if it's something that really fits for you. And that's why I suggest checking your public library first. And then if you've decided it's something you want to buy and work through, then go through week by week. You have one day of the week, so pick wherever you want to start through the week. That day, read through the whole chapter and the activities. Give yourself some time to process, think about it. You may want to pick what tasks you're going to work through the rest of the week and then put it aside for that day. And then through the rest of the week, you may want to do an activity or two and carry on from there. Make sure that you schedule your artist date. That's time for you, whether you're doing a craft, you're going craft shopping, you're out in nature, whatever's going to work best for you, helping replenish that well. And remember, the artist date is for you. So you don't invite other people. This is your time to be with yourself and tapping into that creative self and just having some fun and doing some self-care, whatever that looks like for you. That pretty much covers the sense of identity. I'm just looking through the different exercises. So number 2, where does your time go? List your 5 major activities and how much time did you give to each one. So again, all of this is about taking an honest look at ourselves. What are we doing right? Where do we need to fine tune and tweak things? She has some great ideas to, reset and get focused. Just looking at task number 7 is called a life pie. Draw a circle divided into 6 pieces of pie. Okay, so you've got your spirituality, exercise, play, work, friends, and pick another one, and then you color it in. So take a look at how is your life going and are you spending it on the things you want to do? Then she's got 10 tiny changes. List 10 changes you'd like to make for yourself. Okay, and that's another great thing. I have my bulletin boards and I need to get them organized and set up things on them again. I have another book that I've used. It's got pictures and words. I have a lot of those set up on my perspective bulletin board, and that one I glance at helps me reset, but I've got two others, and that would be a good place to put a 10 tiny changes list because then it's a visual reminder. And for me, those are handy. And then, yeah, this is great. So number 9 is select one small item and make it a goal for this week. So you've picked your changes and make that the goal to do that change. And exercise 10 is to do that item. So yeah, it's a good way of setting things up. That is pretty much week 2 and what I was going to talk about as far as the artist's way. Next week is recovering a sense of power. So we'll be moving on to that. Now, it's not quite an hour. I was going to leave, and I still might, because I am going to eventually do this as productivity sprints. So I think I'm going to leave this up for half an hour. I'm going to putter away at my desk. If you're listening and with me now, you might want to read something, do crafts, and then I will check back in before wrapping things up at 1:15. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Yeah, I think I've covered everything. We talked about, how you undermine yourself. So when you're going through that part of it, be honest, focus on the now. What can you do? What can you change? What can you tweak and fine tune? Yay for lunch. Yeah, I sent you the groundhog and the little chipmunk. No, not chipmunk, squirrel. We don't have the chipmunks back yet. But they were sitting and chomping and chewing away together. So I'm going to set this for a half hour. Let's see if I can actually create a banner. And we'll go read, craft, etc. And back at 1:45 now. So I'm going to say, oops, 2:15 Eastern. All right, let's see. Is this going to work? Nope, there's nothing going through. Oh. Show. Hey, there we go. All right, so it's not boogieing along. Oh, is this going to go off in a few seconds? Yes. All right. So let's see. How do I do this? Nope, it's still on that timer. See, this will be my fun playtime is trying to figure out how to do a banner. Hey, this is an example. No, not. Oh, here we go. Ticker. Woohoo! It's always nice when you finally figure something out. I'm going to have to leave myself No, that's not what I want, silly thing. All right, how do I edit this? There we go. La 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 la. What did I say? Two. All right. Hmm. All right, thought I had it, but of course not. No, want it there. Yep. By the time I get this done, it'll be time to be back. Oh, no, that's... Oh, Mamma Mia, this probably isn't going to work. All right, why is this doing so many different... Oh, brilliant. Hey, Jen. I'm trying to figure out the ticker thing. Ticker thing? Banner thing. So I was just going to wait until, so I'm just going to putter until quarter after because this will eventually be reading productivity sprints. I just finished chatting about week 2. I'm trying to figure out why is this silly thing not cooperating? Nope, that's the one with the timer. That should work. Okay. We'll see how that goes. That one can go. See the rest from there. Guess I'll play around as okay, that's for the banners, which is fine. Oh, Oh. Hey, Constance, how are you? I'm just kind of playing around with the sprint part, although I'm also following up with comments right now, too. So this whole sprint thing is a bit different, and I'm just playing around figuring out all the stuff here. Hmm. Oh, okay. So yeah, you get to see me talk to myself as I do things. Oh, Constance, well, you're here. Yeah, I was going to mention. So I started reading A World of UFOs. This is by Chris Rakowski. And I forgot when I was mentioning this before. Someone left a tarot card in it. And it's really cool because to me that looks like the Celtic cross. It has the elements for the four directions on it. I don't know what deck this is from. I've never seen it before, but it's the Knight of Cups. I mean, it's a gorgeous card. So I'm guessing they must have used it as a bookmark. It looks like, oh, it's an angel. I just realized I thought it was Pegasus, but there's actually someone, like a person on the horse, and the wings are on the person, not the horse. And then that looks like a crab, I'm thinking. I mean, the rest of this deck must have been outstanding. Is that a chow? Looks like a crab above the chalice. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, it's funny that came up in my UFO book, and that inspired me to pick up my Around the World in 78 days. 80 days is Vern. This is Tarot, 78 days by Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin. So I decided to look up what the Knight of Cups was. And the main things here, according to them, are proving your depth and demonstrating creativity. Now, how funny is that? Since I just started working on the Artist's Way, which is all about creativity. And I love the affirmation that they have for it. Moving gently, I hold true to my heart. So I definitely need to read more about that. And the other fascinating thing is they refer to Crowley, the Book of Thoth, which I also happen to have, and I need to get reading. So I'll need to take a look at the Knight of Cups and find out what that's all about. But I thought out of all the things I found in books from the thrift store, I mean, they're all cool, I found. an amazing bookmark in the one by, oh, is it Beatty? I know it's in my box back there, and it's just an outstanding bookmark. So beautiful. And then, yeah, this incredible tarot card. Oh, nice. Several deck. Ah, okay. That suits. Awesome. Cool, Constance. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm not even sure how to figure out, excuse me, what this deck belongs to. Because as I'm looking at it with the elements, I'm almost thinking they relate to the Native American directions. The red, black, blue, and yellow. But I'm not sure. But then it's got white in there as well, and I'm not sure about that middle symbol. And the colors are different throughout that. So it must be something else. I agree, Constance. It does make the world fun and interesting for sure. I just finished another book from the library. Let's see, do I have? Yeah, it's called American Cosmic, which was it was an interesting read, and I've got to make some notes on it. But it mentioned, excuse me, Space Odyssey 2001, which I just started, and it's a series I'd been meaning to read anyway, so I picked it up after I finished American Cosmic. But it also talked about the Shroud of Turin, which was funny because the book 5 of Harry Dresden that I was due to start had to do with the Shroud of Turin. Gotta love all those cool little coinky dinks when they come up for sure. And I just realized we're already up to April, and I still haven't logged into Goodreads to put in the books that I've read this year yet. That's kind of bad, but I mean, I'm keeping them old school, and it's so much easier to find them that way. But I might get in there at some point and get that done. All right, so there was a term I wanted to look up before for the positive people in our life, and it was from the listening path. No, not the environment. Believing mirrors. There we go. So, Jen, if you're still here, last week when we were talking about having those supportive people in our life, the word I wanted was believing mirrors. And I need to, it's a good thing you can't see my desk. It is like crazy with papers and things, but I'll eventually get it figured out. All right, so I want to write this down. Wow. See, this one's I can play with my sticky notes. Yes, I'm awesome, Jen. So yeah, these are just regular sticky notes, but that other one is fun. It's like a little accordion. Okay, so believing mirrors. Now, the other term and it's something I'm currently working on, is Hall of Mirrors. And that comes from the Mayan oracle and Mayan philosophy, ideas. And basically, the Hall of Mirrors is taking a look at the people that we have around us that we connect with, and what are they showing us that we may need to work on or tweak within ourselves. Okay, the Toth deck lady. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Constance. Interesting. I mean, I've got a number of decks, which reminds me, I need to do. Oh, cool. Good to know. Thank you, Constance. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure. I need to do an updated video on using the Moon Oracle decks that I've been working with, and it's been wild just how on track they've been with things. And I ended up not doing them daily because I found that there were things coming up that I needed to work on and reflect on versus just keep pulling a card. See if I've got them here. And we'll have to see how the sprints go, because now I'm talking through the reading time like I do other people's sprints. Whoopsie. So this one's from the Lunar Oracle, that I was talking about. And this one's every journey begins with a first small step. Very true. There's a YouTube, one small video. Then the other is Moonology, and I actually leave this box right behind me, and these are by Yasmin Boland, and I love the inside. Attune to the moon and manifest miracles. So I leave that on the desk behind me. But the last three cards that I picked, which I kind of had to contemplate because I'm like, really? The first one is believe in your good luck. And it has the different yoga pose and the chakra. Excuse me, this is the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. So what I really need to do is get that list of mind fart, astrological signs, and put them up and get them on my wall, for either my wall or my door, because I haven't decided. I might move my craft things and just use that door for information and resources. The other one that I had was trust the universe. You know, you are where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and people cross your path when they're meant to. This also happens to be a first quarter moon. This one's in Aquarius. And I mean, the colors and the artwork on this are just phenomenal. Then the last one, and again, this is funny, tying in with the artist's way and how much Julia talks about creative source and it being a spiritual path and connecting to that, is attuned to the divine. So I guess the message I'm getting from the cards and from Julia and from timing is I'm on the right path. It just some days doesn't feel like it. Believing in my good luck, that one, yeah, made me chuckle when I looked at it and went, "Are you kidding me?" But all things considered, yeah, things are pretty good for sure. I also love the different, see if they stand out. So we've got a purple, a teal, and the earthy colors. But yeah, definitely thank you for that, Constance. Definitely need to take a look at that other deck and take a look at the Toth book. Actually, I have. Da-da-da-da. Handy. No wonder I can't find my desk. I keep. It's probably why Tiki's also left the room going, Mom, how many more books can you fit here? I can't walk across the desk right now. Too many things. I love that the back window's open and I can hear the cardinal. Okay, so this is, wow. Guess I've had this waiting for a bit because when I used to buy books, I would put in the front when I had them. So this is July 13th, 2017. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Ooh, a Western deck. Okay, I never know if you're joking or not, Greg. Cowgirl deck. But yeah, obviously this book has been around for a while. 35th printing, 2015. Originally, it was printed in 1944 by Ordo Templi Orientis. So I'm pretty sure that was Crowley's group because this is Crowley. I'd have to find out how to say that properly. I've always said Crowley, but maybe it's Crowley. Ooh. All right. There is the card. So that definitely looks like it's from the same deck because the way that it's printed. Yeah, I knew I knew who you meant, Constance. I was thinking too. Yeah, Alan would know. Let me see. Yeah, look at this. So those borders are definitely the same. All right, how cool. Oh, thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. How cool is that? And I have this book I need to read. I picked up this book because he's a Canadian astronomer, and I'd love to get him on a live stream because he also does the UFO report for Canada. And it was just, I've never seen a book by him at the local thrift store again. It's in excellent condition, UFOs, and someone left a tarot card that relates to a book that I need to read for tarot. See, I know other people would go, what are you talking about? And I'm like, look at all the connections. So now okay, so I can put away the listening path. I could probably take off the banner because I haven't stopped babbling the whole time. I'll definitely need to, uh, there we go. I'm going to have to work on this. Don't talk during creativity craft time. Okay. Ah, that's cute. For a joking claim, I found a deck. Nothing but cow. Woo! That would be quite the deck, and I bet it would be very popular, Greg. You should make one of those. Man, you'd make a ton of money. And why do you have boots on? Okay, and yeah, thank you, Constance. It's the one. Yep, yellow. Cool. Thank you so much for finding that, Constance. I appreciate that. And yeah, Alan would I see Greg's not going to tell us why he's wearing boots. And why are you wearing a hat in the house? Which, yes, I do. Greg, I have a note from when you were on live and a Western book to try. What I need to do is get my book organized for the next time I go to the thrift store, which, if Kat, you're here, don't get too excited. I'm now looking at potentially third place in our book buying thing with the Chaos Gremlins. But I need to get my book together because there have been so many amazing suggestions and titles and authors. And I think of them when I'm at home. And then when I get to the store, I don't have them in front of me. But I do know where the section of Westerns are. Ooh, I should also try my library. That I can do online, which is mucho easier. Okay, so I also want to see. Okay, that's the major. Okay, there's a my bookmark is my stickers for my little mason jars. Well, what you guys doing? What you folks doing with the horsies? See, Kabbalah, I've never. Oh, all right. Looky here. Like, how's that for wild? And okay, I'm not good with numbers and mathing, but truly, what are the odds that I would find a tarot card at the thrift store in a book that I was interested in that led me to a book that I've been meaning to read for close to 10 years? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And the odds, I mean, it could have been any card from any deck, but it wasn't. It was this deck. We had a topic? Excuse me. Allergies are brutal. Besides, I pulled this way off topic, Greg. It was supposed to be a quiet read and productivity time, and I've been babbling throughout the whole thing. So there you go. Oh my goodness. So it has, wow. All right. I definitely need to sit and read through this. Ooh, there is a lot of stuff here. Of course, my to be finished list is getting, well, it was already in the 50s, and that's the other video I have to make. I just need to count one more group of books. I think my to be finished is somewhere in the 50s, which is wild. Oh, I wish these were in, oh, they've got all of them. I wish they were in color, though. That would have been nice. But then I guess 1944, if they're being true to his work, it would have been black and white. So I guess this is a clue that I need to quit lollygagging with getting back to the tarot. Okay, Queen of Swords, Cups. Ooh, Knight of Cups. All right, now I'm curious. Ooh, here I can put a... These little tabby things are handy. I never used to have them before, but they're quite handy for marking things. Hmm. All right, definitely need to give that a read and figure things out. Okay. Where are we at? It's only 2:15. So I didn't really have any other chatty part. I think I'll continue this on Mondays. And so it'll always start at 1:00 with me chatting about whatever the recovery step is in the artist's way. And so that should take, well, depending on how much I chat, and we all know I chat a lot, could be 30, 35 minutes. And then I think I'll follow that up with a productivity sprint. So people could either do reading, crafts, whatever it is. Don't know if maybe 45 minutes, which gives people time to do different things. And I think what I'm going to, excuse me, end up doing with that time is using that to read through the tasks for the week. So Mondays are my starting. Better move the mouse before I end up doing something silly. Whoops. Aw, thanks, Jen. I hope you're doing okay, hon. Yeah, I think sorry, the allergy things. There we go. We'll pick my activities on the Monday, and then I have the rest of the week to work through them. And yes, I still have to get my journal together. It was just a chill, relaxing weekend. We had warm temperatures Saturday, so I spent a bit of time outside with Lily and Goldie, which was nice. Had planned to get out and do some stuff yesterday, but then it was raining. It was raining this morning, but I knew I had the live this afternoon. Then I've got my live stream again on Thursday with Cindy from Wondering About Nature. That'll be fun because she was on before and now she's moved to a new state. So, a lot of different things for her to share about different conservation areas and nature. So, I'm looking forward to that. Ooh, yes. I also need to. Ooh, I could do that before I wrap that up if we do a sprint. I also need to take a look at the questions for the Chaos Gremlin live stream on Saturday. That's going to be over on Noah's channel, The Bookworm. So that'll be all the Chaos Gremlins in one spot doing a live stream together. So, like we did on my channel several weeks ago. But this time I get to sit back and chill, and Noah's going to have to try and keep us all in order. And yeah, maybe what I'll have to do, well, not have to, but want to, is start looking into some of these tarot channels again. It's been ages since I've followed some of them. Constance, you said that there was quite a good group of them that you've connected with and I know Alan said that he was going to be getting more active on his other channel with tarot. So I'll have to check into that and see if he's posted anything lately. Yeah, so I'll have to pick out my exercises. Start getting my answers written out because I still need to write out my answers for week 1. I need to write out my answers for the listening path because I've done most of those activities already. Yeah, I think I'll put my books into Goodreads. Although I actually should check into that and see. I know there's one of them. Is it Goodreads or Storygraph? One of them you can move it out into an Excel document, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. It's handier if I could do it that way, then it's just boom there. And then that's one less password to remember. Okay. I think I now have all the books listed that I've been. Oh, no, I don't. Got the other one here. Okay. I think I'm just going to keep it short for today. And I think now that I've got this banner figured out, it'll be easier to plan. Oh, okay, thanks, Greg. So maybe it is Storygraph that I was thinking of, and I don't use Storygraph, so I'll have to figure things out. I mean, keeping Goodreads isn't that big a deal. It's just I never log into it regularly. And the way they had the messages in there, I just find really difficult to keep up with things in groups. I mean, it's a great idea and a great place to connect with a number of amazing people as well to, get ideas and chat about books. But the way that their groups run, it's just hard to follow the threads. As much as I'm not a fan of Facebook, what I will say is at least there, when you have a conversation going, it's easy to follow the thread of the conversation. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it there for today. And eventually these will be longer, like they'll probably run from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. Like I say, I'm going to break it up into productivity sprints as well. Just have to remember not to talk through them and, you know, get some of the things cleared off my desk and behind me. And I'm not going to lower my laptop because it's crazy how many things I have on the floor. I think they'd have. Yeah, the one good thing, at least when I got into it, I had the account for years and never really did much with Goodreads. And thanks for popping by, Constance. Thank you so much for helping me out figure out what that deck is, too. That's awesome. But yeah, I haven't used. I've had been using Goodreads. It was nice to see how much I was reading and all of that. Met a few great folks through there as well. But I just don't log in regularly. Like, I don't know how some of the people do this, log all these different social media things and keep up with it. I find it's hard enough just to keep up with YouTube. And at the moment, I'm not so good with that either. It's a big yikes. But okay. I'm going to call it a wrap. I'm going to say thank you so much for everyone who popped in and helped me get some things figured out. And we worked through some different things as well. So that was awesome. Looking forward to next Monday. Like I say, that one should be a bit longer. I'll have how to sprint and things figured out. So yay, one more new thing down. I'm sure several more to go. So thanks so much for being here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I will hopefully see many of you on Thursday for the live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern with Cindy. And until then, be safe.